Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are tuning in today, tonight. It's 10th of July, 2021. As we have posted it in Lagos State media page that we will be hosting a leader of the National People Movement Party, Dr. Matur G. The show is about to start. Would like to ask my brother Agar also to greet the people before we bring the guest speaker in the panel.
Thank you, Brother Isaac Jingfol. I greet you all in the name of Lagos State team, which is Lagos State Media. And I thank you all for watching wherever you are in different places. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So we are here today, as you have heard from my co-host, Isaac Jingfol, so that we are here today with our brother and our doctor. So you guys will be there with us, watching and listening from our doctor, Dr. Matur G. Thank you, Isaac. I will get back to you.
Thank you so much, Agar. Dr. Matur G, welcome to Lagos State Media once again. You are not new in this studio. You have been here before. We welcome you. We greet you and happy Independent Day to you. Greet the audience before we have a song.
Yeah, thank you, Isaac, and thank you, Gar. Thank you so much for hosting me once again. As you said, I'm not new on this forum. I've been here before. So I'm really happy with that. And I'll take the opportunity to greet our people across the world, back home in South Sudan and in diaspora and wherever they are. And I tell them Happy Independence Day, the 10th independence of our country.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's listen to celebration artist Emmanuel Kembe, the song of the celebration. Thank you so much, Emmanuel Kembe, the greatest artist of Republic of South Sudan, with the historic songs that he has written. We welcome you, Dr. Matur G, to Lagos State Media once again. We are happy to have you in the show. Today, this evening, wherever our viewers are tuning in, we want to reflect and see the 10 years that the country, the journey from July 9, 2011 to July 9, 2021. What did we achieve? What we haven't achieved? These are the focal points that we will be listened to and see your presentation to the public, the people of Republic of South Sudan, to listen to you. Dr. Matur G, welcome to Lagos State Media.
Yeah, thank you once again, Isaac. First, I will take an opportunity again to thank the Lagos State Media for what we have been doing over the last year or so. It's a good job. Please continue doing so.
Thank you.
No worries. Today, as you said, marks the 10th anniversary of the independence of our country. And in that regard, I would like to make a statement or a brief speech. I will examine the political situation in our country, what we have achieved so far, what went wrong, the missed opportunities, and the way forward. But before I do that, I would like first and foremost to pay my special tribute and respect to our fallen heroes, the heroes of the liberation of our country, the heroes and heroines of our land, from Anyanya 1 to the SPLA. As you all know, it has been a protracted war over decades, from Anyanya 1 to the SPLA, and so many lives were lost. Millions of lives were lost. I pay special respect, above them all, our leader, Dr. John Garang. May God rest him in peace, and the rest of our martyrs. Without their sacrifices, we wouldn't be celebrating the 10th anniversary today. And that's why we have to pay them respect and tribute, because they have done a lot to our country, and they're paid with their lives for the independence of our country. I would like also to acknowledge the widows in our country and orphans whose spouses, parents were killed in the war. Without your suffering, we wouldn't be celebrating today as well. So special respect and tribute to the widows all across our country and the orphans. Also, respect and a special tribute to the injured. I know you've been living, I know, and we all know, we the people of South Sudan, you've been living in pain for decades because of our land. So I pay special tribute as well and respect to the injured, those who lost their limbs and some parts of their bodies. We respect you. Today wouldn't be possible if our people were not courageous. Our people went to the bush in Anyanya 1 and again in the SPLA because we were being oppressed by the Northerners, we were being treated as second-class citizens, and we were being marginalized. We all know that, and that's why our people went to the bush. The reason for the liberation was for a better life, so our people can feel first citizens of their own country, develop their own country, and change the livelihood of their people. That was the reason. People went to the bush, and that was the reason millions of lives were lost. It was a just war, and our people managed to succeed with the help of our friends across the globe, our brothers and sisters in the SPLA did a lot, and we respect them. The end respect from us is not given to them. It's the respect that they earn. Without their sacrifices, we wouldn't be here. We acknowledge that as the people of South Sudan, and we respect them for that. So the war was protracted, and suffering was immense. And in the end, our people succeeded to bring about the CPA under the wise leadership of our fallen hero, Dr. John Garang, after which we had the 6 years of interim period, which I called was a cooling period or a catch-up period, so that we can do for ourselves what has not been done by Northerners to our people. We had the resources in 6 years. We had everything, the international community, the support from everybody, but we failed. The government, the leadership of our country, and the party, the SPLM, was failed by the leadership. They failed to bring the needed development and services to our people. Up to now, our people are still suffering. There is no change wherever you go, whether inside Juba, other towns across South Sudan, and in the villages or elsewhere. It's the same or even worse. So that was not fulfilled as the reason for the liberation, because when you liberate your people, you come and put things right, not make the things worse. So that happened. Our people, the whole world is going forward. Our people are going backward. No services across our land. No proper equipped hospitals. schools, clean water, you name it, and lawlessness everywhere. So this is, to me, is a failure. We shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't happen that way, because we had the resources and we had everything in our hands, but our people were keeping silent. What was achieved was the referendum, and we thank the government and the leadership of the country for the job well done, because when you do the right thing, we have to recognize it and appreciate it. Referendum was well managed and ended up with our independence. But the rest of the things was a failure, total failure. So our people are, the worst of it all is the division among our people. Our people are badly divided along tribal lines, and also the leadership of our country, the SPLM, instead of managing their own affairs of the party inside, it spilled out into the country, and they caused a war that led to the death of hundreds of thousands of innocent lives, which was not good. A war over power. Who is going to be the leader? So that one was wrong, and that one went wrong, and it shouldn't happen that way. Because when we liberated ourselves from the Northerners, the main objectives of the movement was to bring about democracy. And our leadership are reluctant to embrace democracy because they are fearing the vote of the people. So if you are a leader and you are fearing your people that you could be voted out, it means your leadership is questionable. So that's what happened. The president and the vice president differed, and the party was divided, and then it went along the tribal lines, and the war was caused, as I mentioned. The peace was brought about, but it collapsed in 2015, and again reignited the war in 2016, 2013, and 2016. Our people are back outside in diaspora, in the refugees camp. As we speak, we have hundreds, if not thousands, in the Kakuma refugee, in Uganda, in Ethiopia, in Khartoum, in Egypt, and you name it. Our people are everywhere suffering. Why? Because the leaders are fighting over power in the country, and the killing is everywhere. Instead of the independence, so that we can bring about our people back to home, develop our country, we cause war and we chase them away. The current war, revitalized war, the peace, agreement, is not even being fully implemented, because the leaders are dragging their feet and they're still wrangling among themselves and what location of positions, and it has nothing to do with the public. Our people are suffering. That's a failure, a spectacular failure. During the interim period as well, or the transitional period, it was an opportunity. If we go back again, it was an opportunity to build institutions, because you cannot govern a country without institutions. We have the manpower. We have intellectuals across the world, thousands in diaspora and back home in South Sudan. We have highly qualified people. They should have been called in, put to service, and develop their country. But the leadership is reluctant to do so for the reasons known to themselves. That was a missed opportunity, and we should have utilized our intellectuals and the capabilities our people have to develop our own country. And if we need help, we could get support from the international community. The international community was willing to help us, and there were donations, millions of donations, leave alone the oil money. Sorry, these many billions of dollars were wasted, were embezzled, which is a shame. It's a country is not there to be used, or to put it in the local terms, to eat the country. The country is there to be served. And instead of using billions of dollars to develop our people, to develop our country, change the livelihood of our people or the leadership went into a corruption spree, looting of the nation's resources for their own benefits, which was wrong. And our people were left in the same conditions or even worse. That were missed some of the missed opportunities. Our people by now, 10 years plus the 6 years, which is add together 16 years. That's a lot. 16 years, a child that was born in 2005, maybe by now should be going to year 11 or year 12. That's a very long time. We would have been now in a different place. Now people would have been all back home, nobody in the refugees camps anymore. Putting our children to school, so we invest in the next generation. Because if we are to build a future for any country to succeed, they have to build or invest in young people, because they are the future of their land. Well-equipped schools, and we bring teachers from outside if we don't have teachers, but I'm sure we have thousands of them, very qualified teachers. Instead of taking our kids to Uganda or Kenya or elsewhere to educate. Because when the kids are young, they are vulnerable and they could adapt to any cultures where they grew up. So it would have been, because we have our country, what was the need for waging the war to get the country? And then we come and send our kids in abroad or in diaspora or outside the country so that they can get education. That's a contradiction. There was no need for the liberation then, if we don't want to change the livelihood of our people, if our people are still suffering. But the war was a just war. We won't regret why we waged the war, because we needed our country and our country is dead. What we need now is to fix what went wrong and how we can fix it. And I will come into that.
Okay, that's right. I would like to say that thank you for elaborating that part. We have to give ourselves a break. Nugul Mabruk le Shaba Geneva Sudan. For the independent acknowledgement is very important. You have acknowledged the achievement of the referendum, how it was handled through a lot of pressure and other that issues that would have led the country to the war. So for the break, I will give you the song from our brother Franco, Nishukuru, Shabab, Nas Kubar, or politicians. Sudan. Thank you so much, Franco. It's a good Dr. Matur G. To proceed from there, what have been missed on the way here? Like this song, there is a part that when that artist touched, there is a lot of urination from the ladies, and everybody is just racing. That is a BA. And now, what is going on, and how it's going to be solved? And these things you will add it in your presentation for further.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was a nice song. Yeah, actually, what went wrong is the lack of political will and lack of vision. Because we the people of South Sudan would think the vision of the SPLM, because I was a diehard member of the SPLM since the beginning. But since our leader died, Dr. John Garang, and we think he died with the vision of the SPLM. The current leadership is lacking completely the vision of the SPLM and the liberation itself, and the lacking of the political will. That's the problem. And if we come to the sovereignty of our nation, up to now, which is a little bit ridiculous, up to now, the borders are not even demarcated between us and the north. And we are losing bits and pieces of our land to the neighboring countries, and nobody even talking about it. I think up to now, our airspace are being controlled by the north. Unless something changed in the last few months, I don't know. But what I knew, the airspace are being controlled by the north. So how would you claim to be a leader of a sovereign country and your airspace, you don't have to, it's being controlled by another country. Boundaries are not even demarcated. That's not right. The issue of Abyei is mentioned in the song there. The issue of Abyei is vital and critical. And this is one of the failures of our leadership. To have a problem in one part of the country, you cannot neglect it and say this problem is a problem with people of Abyei. That's not right. This is a national issue. It should be addressed at the national level. We cannot leave it for the people of Abyei themselves. That's wrong. We look at it, this is a national issue, and it has to be solved as soon as possible. They have voted in 2012, and their vote was even dismissed by our own government. That's not right. That referendum should have been endorsed. And if there is any war that our people should be fighting now, should be over Abyei or so, not between Riek Machar and Salva Kiir. That's not right. That means our leadership, there's no vision. They're just there to entertain being the leaders, but they're not doing anything for our country. And we must be conscious of this, with the people of this country, because this country belongs to all of us. It does not belong to Riek Machar, it does not belong to Salva Kiir. This is our land, this is our country. And we cannot leave this one to drag on that long without a say. And that's why we urge our people in South Sudan and across the globe. Things are at the bottleneck, and we need courage to address this issue. We cannot keep quiet any longer and watching our people suffering across the land. Our people are misplaced everywhere in the refugee camps, and they're being looked down by everybody. We cannot let that go that long. 10 years is enough. Not only that, we have our own people inside the UNMISS camps inside our country, including the capital city, Juba. That's unacceptable. You cannot treat your people that way. To be protected by the UN from you, the leadership of the country. That's not right. So it is time, we the people of South Sudan, we must come together. We discourage this policy of divide and rule. We discourage this issue of tribalism, because tribe will not take us anywhere. We should come together as the people of South Sudan, the proud citizens of the land. Nobody is inferior, nobody is superior to other. We are all equal before the law, and we have all equal rights as citizens of the country. We need to come together and address this issue. Nobody will come from anywhere, not the UN, not America or whoever. Nobody will come and solve our problems. It is we, the people of this country, that we can solve it. We can solve it with courage, with the determination that the change must come to this country. And things must be put right. We cannot waste 10 years, and now we are into our second decade. How long are we going to mismanage the affairs of our country? It's not right. Our people are dying every day. Diseases, guns are everywhere. People are killing themselves every day. We are losing young people in hundreds and thousands. That's not right. We need to protect the lives of our people, and we need to bring security to our country, and we need to bring the rule of law. You cannot have the government that a certain group of people might be in somewhere, they are well armed, and the army or the police will be scared to go to them because they are well even equipped than the government. That's not right. That's not right. In a country, the government must be the superpower. You cannot have insecurity anywhere and you just sit down as a leader and watch. It's not acceptable. Law and order must come to the country. Guns must be collected from anybody, not patchy disarmament as it used to be. It's not right. That's why we need a strong leadership, the leadership that cares for the people, and the leadership that protects the lives of the people. We cannot turn a blind eye to this anymore because we had enough. We gave them the benefit of the doubt in the interim period of 6 years, and they failed. Again, for 10 years after the independence, and they failed. They should do the honorable thing, resign and go home, and let the people of South Sudan charter their own waters to the future. The leadership belongs to the people or the government. We don't want people imposing themselves on our people that they are leaders. They must be elected by the people and answerable to the people. And that would make our life even easier because you will be accountable to the people and you will be elected by them. If you don't do right, you will be kicked out. Enough for dictatorship. We are in the 21st century. We cannot accept anymore to be treated that way. We are free citizens in our country and we have a say. And we can say it loudly because we have all the rights as citizens. And that's why we encourage our people to work for change. A peaceable change, and I will talk about this, not a violent change. We have witnessed what violence did and keep doing to our people. It brings suffering, and we have seen it. When Riek Machar rebelled, and the rest of the armed groups, who died? The people of South Sudan, on both sides, in their hundreds of thousands. That's not acceptable. We can bring change by peaceful means. We don't want other people to go to the bush and fight because you will be killing your brother and your sister for no reason. We can bring change by peaceful means if we are united. Let's discourage this issue of tribalism because our people have been living together for centuries. What is new in the last 10 years? Our people are so divided. They've never been divided that way. It means there is something wrong on top of the leadership. And that something needs to be changed so that our people come together. Unity of our people is essential. And we need to work together as the citizen of South Sudan, and we'll bring about a peaceful change, and will bring about a government of the people and for the people and by the people, which must be answerable to the people. We can do it. We can do it anytime, provided that we are united. So I will stop here. If there are any questions, I could answer. If not, you can give me an opportunity, and then I can go on further. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Matur G. Gojok. For all our audience who are watching us down there, if you have any questions to Dr. Matur Gojok, a leader of the National People Movement Party, you can just either you write it down here, but the link was already pinned it down. You can join us, or you can just send us your question direct to Matur, and I will display that question to him such that he can answer it. And now I will give you opportunity to start writing your question and get prepared, and I will play a song about the flag. Bear betat Junuba Sudan de shunu alam betana de alam shunu. That was reason. It was raised in 2011, July 9, sang by our sister Nyakwat Lul. Is one of the musicians. I love her songs, and she's also a connected lady, very active, bringing Nuer and Dinka together. She's a Nuer and married by Dinka. So I like her songs, and all these things are so good. Thank you. Nyapan Lul is one of the also great artists. Mashakil that is the watch, I think, but there's nothing has stopped her career. Once she got married, she just going down, but I still seeing her entertaining, singing, writing songs, but just blessing you, Lul. You are a good artist. Your song is, you explain the meanings of the flags of South Sudan. And that's the reason Dr. Matur has celebrated some of the part of the tribalism line that we have created in the system to look your brother like somebody far away from you. But we are all together. We are one nation, one country. We have to love each other, and all these things will be pushed away. That's what you sang in your song. For the questions, Jacob Ajang Lual has asked a question here that what is, let me bring it up. Okay. He said, can you ask Dr. Matur what is his vision about South Sudan? That's the question from him. And yeah, welcome Justin Mansoura Zaki. Just prepare your questions as well to Dr. Matur. And I will come back to the rest of the question. Just answer that question of our brother Jacob Ajang.
You want me to come in?
Yeah, you have to come in.
Okay, thank you. The vision of our movement, the National People's Movement, is very clear. Our vision is that South Sudan belongs to the people of South Sudan. South Sudan is not belonging to any tribe or a region or a group or anybody. It belongs to the people of South Sudan. Democracy must come to South Sudan so that the people elect their leaders. We are against fighting over power, against any rebellion or coups. The leadership must be elected by the people. So democracy, freedom for all, and then we bring development and prosperity to our people and change the livelihood of our people. A country where everybody feels at home. Nobody is left behind. Country where there is no majorities and minorities. People are equal before the law. You cannot say I'm a majority or I'm a minority. You cannot be a minority in your country. This country belongs to everybody. That's our vision. The vision of equality, justice, and fairness for all. And bring about services to our people, invest in our future generations so that we have highly qualified people in 20, 30 years to come to take over this country and take it to the next level. Provide healthcare system that should be free to everybody, building roads, providing clean water, and above all, security. Because if we don't have security, we cannot do anything of this. Security is a top priority. A land where guns are not everywhere. Guns are only with the armed forces. The armed forces or any armed group, organizations like police, they are the only that should possess weapons. Not everybody in the street. It's not acceptable. The rule of law must be in the country so that you can do whatever you want freely, nobody will ask you. And then there are so many other issues we need to address. So that's our vision. Our vision is very clear. That the NPM belongs to everybody. It's a national party, and that's why we call it Al-Harka Al-Wataniya Shabiya. So that you feel at home in the movement and in the country. We had enough of divisions. And we cannot move this country with divisions. We have to come together to build a nation that is proud of being a nation, like South Sudanese nation, not tribes. This is our vision, and I think if all the people of South Sudan come together, we can do it. We can move our country to the next level. We can build it. And once again, our people will be proud among the peoples of the world, nations of the world. Not being looked down as people who are suffering, refugees all the time. How long our people are going to be refugees? Refugees from generation to generation. That's not right. Even when we have our own country, 10 years down the track, our people are still thousands in the refugees camps across the globe. That's unacceptable. These people must come home, put into work, and develop our country. No insecurity, no lynching, nobody's going to kill anybody, like what is happening now with unknown gunmen. And by the way, the known, they call unknown, because these are militia everywhere. It's a militia everywhere. So this situation, or this current political situation, is unsustainable. And for us to move forward, we must take bold decisions, speak up, organize ourselves, and bring about change. Thank you.
I thank you so much, Dr. Matur G. I will leave you with Agar. Doing something here in the system. Agar, control the show. If you have any question, you can go ahead or you display. If we have some more question here on the ground, somebody asking Franco Korok is the best song. That's the what I'm just searching on the line here.
Okay, that's fine, Isaac. Yeah, I will display another question. So DR, be ready for it, so that you can answer for this question for our brother James Riak.
Yeah, you can bring it the screen a little bit away from me.
On the screen, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Look. Yeah. Look, he's saying the generals are in control in our country.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right. That's what is happening in the land. Yeah, and that's what we are trying to bring about change. And even those generals, is actually, we talk about the SPLA itself. The real SPLA soldiers, or the forces that were fighting the liberation movement, are suffering now and across the land. They don't have even salaries. Their children are not going to schools, most of them. So the country is being hijacked by few, only by the few. And the army that liberated the country is suffering across the land, which is not right. These are our veterans. We should have come up with a program for our veterans, because a country that does not look after their own veterans is doomed to failure. So the special consideration for veterans, because they deserve it, because they suffered for this country, and they must be given a special consideration. Special services for our veterans. But now, look, they're not getting even their salaries. That's very saddening. But the generals that are on the show now, we can tell them, look, even this government, you might be fearing the change, but the change is even good for them, for the generals. Because what is there now in South Sudan today is only the clique. A few clique are in control. Few clique, some from there, some from there, some from there. They are in control of the country, with their few generals closer to them. The rest of the generals are suffering as well. They have nothing. So the change will work for them because we feel our veterans must be looked after for what they did for the country. They cannot be neglected like that. It's not right. So they're fearing the change for the unknown because they are being misinformed. Not only them, most of our people, they are being misinformed that, and that's why these cliques are clinking to the power. It's something that when other people come to power, they will come and eat the country. They will come and eat the resources. That's not right. The country is not to be eaten up. The country needs to be developed, to use the resources for the benefit of all, not for the benefit of the few. So there are people out there fearing change for the unknown. We need to reassure that the change that we are working on will look after our veterans, number one, will bring peace to our country, and everybody will feel home. Corruption must be put to an end. Corruption has become part of the culture of our people, even our norms. We are in a real desperate situation. Even our norms are changing in a way or another. Because those days, long ago, even if you get like 10 pound or $10 on the floor, you pick it up and you say, this $10 belongs to who? Because our people were so honest. That honesty is gone. People, they just need to get as much as possible. And it's becoming a norm. And people encourage it. So you better get this, you better get this. And if you come up out of the blue and very rich, a millionaire, people will be so proud. That's not right. That's not right. Our norms, traditions must come back. Our people are very sincere and they're generous people. If they are offered an environment that is conducive, is peaceful and conducive, they will respect each other. They cannot take anything belongs to somebody for them own selves. They will never. If there is law and order. Our people respect law. But there is no law, that's why everybody is everywhere. So things must change. Things must change.
Okay, DR, there are a lot of questions are coming up, so you need to be short and brief for those, because it's not everybody is a politician, because whoever or wherever the question come from, it does not mean to come from the politician. But the important thing is that those who are asking a lot of questions are the people of the nation of South Sudan. So we need to be short and brief so that we can allow some others for their question to be answered too by you or by your party. So we have our sister Gum Dekachual. I will put the question. Yeah, okay, thank you, Isaac. So that's the question for you.
Yeah. What's the plan to bring the people back together?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Look, if you talk about unity itself, unity, anybody can talk about unity, can say unity. But unity means a lot to different people in different sections of the society or community. When we talk about unity, we mean unity. And unity that we work for it. Unity does not come by itself. Unity is something people have to work for it. By what you do, what you say, your respect to other people, by the laws that are not segregating people, by justice, everybody is equal to the law, everybody must be given their right. This one, the people will feel at home. Nobody is better than another, and the government belongs to everybody, not belong to the few. and then the unity will come. So unity is something that people need to work for it. Unity does not come by itself. I think that we are well positioned to work for the unity because we respect each section of our country, our society, and we believe that we are one people and we can come together and develop our country as a united people, not as tribes, not as regions. We believe in that and we can work for it, provided that you are loyal to your country and you put South Sudan number one, not your tribe. What is the trend nowadays is your tribe is first and then come the nation. That's not right. We need the reverse. South Sudan is number one. And everybody must come under that. If you want to talk about tribes, it's up to you. You go to your local area, you talk about your tribe, it's up to you. But the national issue, it belongs to the people of South Sudan. Because this country belongs to everybody. And everybody died for this country. So that's a unity we're talking about. A unity of respect, togetherness, justice, and the rule of law.
Thank you for our audience and those who are asking questions. When we sometimes you repeat the question twice, and if you repeat it twice, we leave it. Then we just put one question only for our guest, Dr. Matur. Instead of repeating your question, please you stick with the one question, and it has to be a valid question, so that Dr. Matur cannot repeat himself. So that is a message for all of us, including me, who are watching and those who are interested to ask questions for him. Thank you. Isaac, go ahead.
I thank you so much, Hagar. That's the good thing for all our audience. If your brother or your sister have asked the same question that you have, just enjoy watching. Just stay there and you just continue watching the show instead of repeating the question that has been elaborated. Or maybe if you may come late, this is why you may be asking the question which has been answered already. I appreciate Dr. Matur G for answering all these questions and also reflection. Your presentation regarding the 10 years anniversary that our country has gone through is a journey that everybody is looking into it around the world. What have we achieved and what we didn't achieve and how we can achieve the prosperity of the country and to unite the nation. All these things, I think you have touched them all in your presentation. So thank you so much, and I appreciate your presentation today, tonight, this afternoon, this evening, for us here in Australia and the worldwide, those who are listening to us and watching the show. Gormakoy, I have a question. Gormakoy, yes, what is your question? What is your opinion on our election in South Sudan? Since a large part is direct election, and such election could be the cause of corruption. That is a question from Gormakol Kojok. He said that, what is your opinion on our election in South Sudan? Since a large part is direct elections, and such election could be the cause of corruption.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. You know that talking about elections at the moment, under the current system, is not right, because they don't believe even in the elections, and that's why they've been avoiding elections over the years. They don't want to face the people, what they have done wrong. They don't have courage to face the people. That's why they're avoiding the elections. The elections under this system is not going to work, and it's not practical, because it will bring more even anarchy and chaos and suffering. Elections we're talking about is elections after the change, or if this government is still there and willing to call for the elections must be internationally supervised, so that the elections are fair and credible. Without that, it will bring even more chaos and instability and even violence. It must be internationally supervised, or otherwise elections will be done when we've seen that back. But under the current system, it must be internationally supervised, so that you present a multi-party system. Every party, with the NPM will present our case, and everybody will come with their case. Their case is every party, and then the people of South Sudan will be the judge to elect their own leaders.
Yep.
No one else to impose themselves to be a leader. The leader must be elected. And there was another question there: how can we make our country great again? We can do it. We can make our country great again if we bring about peace. Number one, bring change, bring peace, develop our country. You are respected worldwide if you are doing your things right at home. If we have a government that belongs to the people, that's elected by the people, and is working for the welfare of the people, we bring our people back from the refugee camps, we develop our country, the rule of law must be there, and we develop our own. We will be respected, and we will make our country great again. Greatness will not come from out of the blue. We have to work for it, and we have to work for it very hard. Because if you see the developed country, look at the developed countries, they work day in and day out so that they are developed. We can do this. We have a manpower.
Yeah.
We have the intellectual capability to do it, and we are able to move our country to the next level.
Oh, that's very good. Thank you so much. I got another question here. Is a very, very good question from my brother, Justin Mansur. He is asking you, Doctor, thank for taking opportunity. What are the plans for the support to sons, daughters of heroes and heroines who shed their blood for the freedom of South Sudan? These are the orphans that you have already greeted and you talk about little. Is now asking you, what are the plans for your party if you succeed?
Yeah, thank you so much, Isaac, and thank you for the question. Look, this is one of the things that pains me a lot.
Yeah.
When I see our orphans in the streets of our towns, in Juba or elsewhere, it pains me. These are the orphans of the fallen heroes of our liberation, and the widows as well. You see them suffering. That is unacceptable. To have a viable government and a credible leadership in the country, the first and top priority to look after our orphans and widows, because these are the people who suffered a lot during the liberation of our country and afterwards. We must look after our orphans. We put them to schools, we provide them with free health care, and we give them a special consideration in the community, because it is their right, the right that they earned. Their spouses or their parents, they earned it, and that's why they died for the liberation of our country, as well as the veterans. And I spoke about the veterans already. So a country that does not look after their veterans, after their orphans, widows, is not going anywhere. And this should be a top priority. And it is in the part of our vision that our orphans, widows must be given special consideration in the community for what they have went through and are still going through at the moment. But now they are being neglected. Nobody's been talking about them. They are just hanging around on the streets. They're not going to schools. But we promise them, the land belongs to you. One time, change will come to that country and things will be put right back on the right track. And you will feel proud again as sons and daughters of that country, and your parents or your spouses died for a genuine cause. And your government is looking after you. That's a mission. It must be accomplished.
Thank you, DR. And there is a lot of questions are coming in. But if you answered that question already, you can say that, sorry, my brother or my sister, that question has been answered already, because for us here as Lagos State media team, we just display whatever question come up. But if you have answered that question already, you need please to let them know so that they can know that question has been answered already. And you guys can be patient and you can review the video after that your question had been answered before or not. So another question is here. Paul Wet.
Now the government blocked the election every year. What will be the solution, Dr. Matur?
Yeah, the solution, yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, they're blocking the elections because they are scared of the people. They are scared of the vote of the people because they've done poorly. And if they are scared to go for elections, we can bring about change in other ways. Look, change, there are so many ways that change could be brought to that country. And we have examples. It happened in Khartoum. In Sudan, it happened everywhere. It happened in Egypt, it happened everywhere.
Yeah.
When the people are united, nothing will stop the will, can stop the will of the people. We can bring about change through any other peaceful means, whether popular uprising or any other means. We can bring about change, provided that is non-violent. Because violence, we're against any violence in our country, because that will bring anarchy, will bring suffering to our people. But still, peaceful means through a popular revolution could come. We can work on it particularly if we are united as people of South Sudan and forget about these things called tribes and move this country forward, bring about change, introduce democracy, pluralism, everybody to campaign for what you stand for, and the people will be the judge. So these are all possible, provided that we have the will as the people to work for the change. And we must be bold and take the courage. Yeah, because other people who could be scared. If we do this, people could be killed. No, nobody would kill the whole population. They could kill other people here and there, but the will of the people would prevail.
We've got another question here, Doctor. Let me just cut you short from Sunday John Mabeng. Very, very good question. It's something that we Lagos State media has hosted a show yesterday regarding the interview of the President Salva Kiir with citizen TV journalist Jeff Kaniogi. Is asking here, he said, hello, doctor. In the recent interview of President Kidit with the Kenyan journalist Jeff, Kidit said that he is the only one that can unite the people of the South Sudan. And he, if leaves the sea today, the country will be in a great genocide. What is your vantage or say regarding that statement? being released by our president. That's from Sunday.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Sandy, as well. Yeah, look, I haven't watched that interview, but that question is very interesting. So, look, this is how you scare the people. This is policy of scaring the people. That if I'm not there, the country will collapse, which is not right. Leaders come and go. All along the history, leaders come and go. So they are making this campaign, a scary campaign, so that our people feel scared that if Kir is not there anymore, people will be fighting each other, people will be killing each other, and the country will collapse. That's not right. Now the country is not at peace, even with their presence. Country is not at peace. And the chaos that happened is a creation of their own, and they don't know how to get the people out of it. They don't know how to get the people out of this crisis. Because the crisis hit, and I will give you an example. Once our great leader, Dr. John, after the CPA, he visited the United States of America. I think that was his last visit.
Yes.
And in one of the occasions, with our people there, he said very interesting thing. He said, look, if you are a guest at somebody's house and you just came and you are indoors and you don't know where things are located, and out of the blue the power went off. Dr. John said this, and then you try to get out of it to get to the door, and you don't know where the things are located in the house. And then that person will be breaking everything in the room.
The room.
There are glasses, there are plates, and
finding the exits.
Because he doesn't know where things are located, and it's all dark everywhere. To get out would be a big problem. So when Dr. John said that, it was a metaphor for the crisis. Exactly what happened today, what is happening today in our country. When the crisis hit a nation, the leadership must navigate their people and the nation outside of the crisis. If you are a capable leader, you navigate your people out of the crisis. But what is happening now is the opposite. And exactly Dr. John said that. They're just cracking everything in the country, whatever they touch, whether it is security, whether it's the health, whether it's what, they're cracking. They don't know how to get the country out of the crisis. Because it's dark, they are the one in charge, and they don't know where to go. That's exactly what Dr. John means. And he was saying this, that was years back. And exactly that's what is happening now.
Yep, that was in 2002 when they were selling the controls that come to be the CPA. I remember that thing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what is happening now. We are stuck with the leadership that created the problems, and they don't know how to get the people out of the problem they themselves created. This is ridiculous. So yes, it is. It's
okay,
not right.
I got another question from Namgum.
Okay.
Yeah, Namgum is asking you, Dr. Matur, how can the RARCISS and unity government be made responsible after seeing the president interview yesterday with Jeff Kayonegi, where he blamed his peace partners and international community for the lack of the progress in the country? And as an NPM, what is your position on? That is his question.
Yeah. Look, the revitalized peace agreement was forged between Kir and Riek, as we all know. It wasn't negotiated, and they accepted it. And we were hoping for the best because we wanted peace in our country.
Correct.
But it turned out that was just to accept the peace in name, but not put it in practice. Otherwise, it's almost 2 years now. I think it was 2 or 3 years since it was signed, back in 2018. So they've been dragging their own feet, and then they come and blame the international community for not offering the support, and for the IGAD for doing so and so. But they are the one responsible for this. They've created a huge government of 5 vice presidents, which is unheard of all over the world, and an inflated parliament of hundreds and hundreds. Up to now, and let alone the states' governments. And up to now, they're still wrangling. I need this position. I need this position. So is the peace agreement that was designed only for the purpose of distributing the positions? It does not belong to the people. That's why the people are not getting the dividends of the peace, because still there is no peace anywhere. There is a ceasefire being violated every now and then there, and the people and the civilians are killing themselves everywhere. There is no peace. But we hope for the peace. And if they respect what they have agreed for, it would be good. And they work towards the end of the period, inter-period, and go for elections. But I think they will be hesitant to do so. They're just waiting when their time expires, and then they will ask their inflated parliament for another extension of 2 or 3 years, and the cycle continues. That's unacceptable, and that has to be stopped. And we, the people of South Sudan, are able to stop that.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Matur G. You've been with us for more than 1 hour and 20 minutes, and the questions are being exhausted. I have a reservation question that I planned it and I put it back, and it will become as a video. And that question I would like to Agar need to say something. Agar, can you say that word before? Because this is mine will be the conclusion.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Isaac, and thank you, DR, for joining us tonight, this afternoon, this evening, in different places. My question is this: is going to the parties of South Sudan, whether the old party or new one, because as you have said earlier, so all the people now are confused between all these parties, whether it's SPLM, SPLA, or IO, and your party, and the rest of the parties who are coming up. So as one of those civilians of South Sudan, I'm really confused about all these parties, because we were in SPLA, SPLM, and then IO came, we follow it up, and there are a lot of parties now are coming up. And South Sudan is still not stable. There's no stability among all these parties. According to you, I will put this question direct to you, because there are no many people now with their own parties on the show. According to you, how do you think people of South Sudan are going to believe any kind of party that is coming up, whether within South Sudan, within the diaspora here, or within your own party that you have been created? So how do you think people are going to trust that party, and they will say, okay, this should be our leader, instead of Salva Kiir or Young Machar or whoever there already before you guys?
Yeah, thank you, Agar. Look, the choice for the parties will be for the people. But what we do as people who are running the parties, we present our program and our vision. So I spoke about this earlier. That's what we stand for as the NPM, and the other parties or organizations that are speaking for themselves as well. But the people of South Sudan will be the judge. It will depend. It will depend on the programs of such parties or political organizations. What they say, what they do, their consistency, their vision, and their strategy for work to bring the people together. So the people can look at us, what we are saying. We've been saying this consistently over the years, and we'll keep doing that. The alternative is there. And I'll take this opportunity as well to urge the opposition groups to come together. Because if we are really genuine for change, we must work together. Because our objective is one, is to bring about change. The leadership belongs to the people. The people will elect their leaders. But we should come together and work as an opposition. And in that regard, we are working on it with contacts. And we hope that the opposition unite their ranks so that they face the status quo. And in that regard, I will take this opportunity to congratulate one of our comrades. You had 2 days ago, there was a breakaway group from Riek Machar, led by the comrade Duer. I congratulate them for their courage and for the bold decision that they have taken. We need to move away from this group because over the 16 years of the leadership of Kir and Riek, our country failed. They represent hatred, division, and tribalism among our people. The country should move away from them. And they have taken their courage, and I congratulate them, and we look forward to working with them in the near future. We need bold decisions like that, what we have taken and what they've taken now, and some other people, opposition groups, but we need to work together so that we achieve the goal of change and bring democracy to our country and peace and stability so that we can build our nation. Our land is crying for development. Our land is crying for development. Our people are suffering back home and around the globe. How long are we going to wait? Nothing will fall from the sky to rescue our people. UN will not come. It is we, the people of this country, that we bring change. Change, whether they like it or not, it has to come. Because this country belongs to all of us. And this country killed our people. Our people died for it. And it must be developed. And we change the livelihood of our people. And we are determined that this happens in South Sudan. Thank you.
Thank you, DR. And we have our brother again, Justin. He has put second question. There's no need to apologize, brother Justin. We are here to chat and talk about our country. So, and ask DR. Yep, Justin, yeah.
Yeah, Justin Mansour Zaki, you should not be apologizing. I am sorry to ask a second question again. When a bull fight at behind, out the owner never know how strong is his bull, tactically a great fighter. When are you going to take that fight for the party? That's the question direct to you as a head of the party.
We have taken the fight already. That's why we are talking now.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of the fight.
All right. That's
in our speech. We say things as they are, and we are determined to keep doing the same. And we must see into it change comes to our country.
Yeah. Akale Malang Goody. You asked a question. Are you sure Gerald Kir and Dr. Riek Machar ready for election in 2023 without census? That is the question. I don't know who's gonna answer that question, because Dr. Matur, go ahead.
Yeah, I will answer it. Yeah. Look, he's right. You cannot do elections without census.
Yeah.
Correct.
But this is what we say. What we say that the leadership are dragging their feet in implementing the revitalized peace agreement, because this should have been done a year ago.
Yeah.
If the government should have been in place within a few months of the agreement, and peace and security arrangement should have been done. The forces were brought together, and then the people, if there is peace there is no reason that people cannot go for census. And then census would have been finished now, so more than 2 years. But because they are dragging their feet, they don't want to implement it. Yeah. And that's why we are lagging behind. Correct. It is intentional that we lag behind so that the period expires, and then they come again and ask for extension. And here we go.
Okay. All right. We have been here for 1 hour and a half. My reservation questions that I put aside before Dr. Matur, this will be like a break, such that you have a glass of water, and while you are washing, and then my question will come out from there. So just join me and watch this video, and this is where my question will come out. I will not complete that video because it's a bit longer, and my question will come out from there. I just need to narrow it down. I need to be very specific with the Lake State, where this media comes from. Lake State has been marginalized, or how I can termly put it, the way the things are happening in that states compare with other states is worsening, and we never heard anything from the federal government. All I can say, majority of South Sudanese or citizens of South Sudan, they have arms, but most of them, they don't turn arms against themselves. Only Lake states that has these issues of revenge, cattle theft, and cattle raiding, and all these things are happening. And we never ever heard any word, even if there are communal fighting going on. We are in Western world. Wherever there is a child crying in a part of the country, the prime minister or the president of that country will come out and answer that cry. You can just say a word, that which means he is also a part of his responsibility. All this problem that has been happening in Lake State, hundreds can be killed a day, and no any response, no any word from the federal. I've been holding this in my heart for very long. Changing of the leaders from 10 states to 32 states, back to 10 states. We have been changing our governors. They are being decreed. It's not election. They are not elected. They are being decreed by the Republic powers to come and lead that state. But Lake State has been in trouble. Now, Makur Kulang, he was appointed, was a right time, and also was the Gerald Rin, who is the current governor of Lake State, also was appointed to lead disarmament at the same time, all those people. And everybody was welcoming this issue. We thought that disarming will bring peace to our state. All right. When the disarmament went on, it didn't end properly. They collect some arms they have collected, and they are arming themselves, the civilians. And when I heard the interview of Salva Kiir with the Citizen TV of Kenya journalist Jeff Kainoge, there is one statement that I really felt upset with. He was asked about the army, because he requested army embargo, and that they have a sanctions. And this word, he said that those people who sacrificed, that's the statement I quote from the president, people who sacrifice their cows to sell them and buy their gun to protect themselves, it is hard for them, for the government, to go and take away that gun from them. This is a contradicting message. When you asked for the disarmament of the civilians, and you are also supporting civilians to hold with the arms, and those arms, they are turned against themselves and against their neighbors. For your party and your prospective view as a leader and intellectual and a son of Greater Lake State, I just need you to elaborate more, and you tell us some more ideas that can bring people back, because our state is torn apart and is growing larger and larger. That is my reservation question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Isaac. That's a very good question. look what is happening in Lakes is heartbreaking. It's happening in Lakes and it's happening in Warab and other states. But in Lakes, it's worse all over. And this represents a complete and utter failure of the leadership in the country. I don't blame the governors of Lakes. Changing governors every now and then will not serve anything. They're all capable, they're veterans, and they are sons of that land, of that estate. They can do better. But the problem is in the central government. Look like that reckless statement from the leader, that when the citizens buy their own guns, you cannot take it from them. That's a state, that's a declaration of lawlessness. You go and buy your guns, you do whatever you want with it. And that's where things come from. The problem of Lakes is originates. It looks like our people are just killing themselves here, but it is the failure of the leadership of the country. Because as the power of the land, as the government, if there is an unstable region or area, you cannot just leave it for that area. You said, look, this is belong to Lakes, this belongs to Jongole, this belongs to Warab, or this belongs to Abyei, as I spoke about Abyei earlier. It's not right. This is a national issue, and it must be addressed by the national government to bring about security in that region, even though if it necessitates to declare the state of emergency all over the country so that peace comes back to the people. And you cannot just sit and watch. And young people are dying every day. And the people who are killing people, they are just walking free. What state of affairs is that? That's the failure is happening, and that's why our people are killing themselves now, and other states as well, they are killing themselves. It's regrettable, but it is the responsibility of the central government. We don't blame the governors, because the governors, they cannot do anything with no political will at the top. If there is no vision to bring about peace and stability in the country, from the central government, a governor of the state cannot do anything. So that's why even if you change everybody, every now and then, like General Loren, he's a very capable person. He can run that state very competently. But the support from he will lack the support of the leadership in Juba. And he will fail. Not because he doesn't know what he is doing, but there's no backup from the leadership.
Correct.
The security of the country belongs to the national government. It's not a state issue. This must be clear to our people. Bring justice. People who kill the people, you bring them to court. You cannot just kill the person and you walk around. How come on earth that happens? They must be brought to books. They must be disarmed, not only in Lakes, across the nation. And this must be done by our military. That's why we have the military and the police, to keep peace and order in the country. If you are not able to keep peace and order in the country, you are a failed leader. And that's why I don't blame our people in Lakes or any other state. This is a failure of the leadership, and that's why we are calling for change. Not only the people in Lakes are failing, but the whole country is failing because of the weak leadership and the visionless leadership that is being that's in Juba and looking for themselves, but not after the people of the country. That's what I can say. But a special request from the people in Lakes: please stop killing each other. If the government is failing you, Don't fail yourself. Don't fail yourself, please.
Thank you. Very good.
You should not kill each other, because young people, that country belongs to you. And we are losing hundreds and hundreds every now and then. That's not right. So please, if the government is not looking after you, you look after yourself. Work with your governors, but they are lacking the leadership from there. And that's why change must come to the country, the whole country. Because the same image in Lake is everywhere. It might be worse in Lake, but it's everywhere. Lawlessness is everywhere, even inside Juba. People are dying, being killed by the unknown gunmen, and nobody's been arrested any day. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not right. The seat of the government. People are dying in the suburbs, and the government does not know who's killing them. That's unacceptable.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dictor. I appreciate your time with us. My brother, or you are my sister, because you wrote your name in Amharic, your question is already being elaborated and being answered, and it was also discussed. The doctor has already mentioned about the IDPs, those who are still in the refugee camps and in the UNAMIS camps. You talk about this. I think you came after he has already talked about it. So we will not go back for that. And also go to my brother, Dr Matur. He's asking Dr. Matur why you want to, your career to become a politician and you are a medical assistant. He's a medical personnel, let's say he's a medical doctor. So that could be his question, because we know that you are a doctor, you are tabib Arabi, لكن as I tend to be.
Why are you changing from the medical doctor to the politician?
So that is his question.
Yeah, that's a good question. But he should ask those of Kira Riyadh why they abandoned the army and the government, because that's not their job. They should be in the army. That question belongs to everybody. Look, politics, there is nothing called belongs to everyone. If you have courage and you have your heart with your people, you can volunteer.
Correct.
And speak up for your people, on behalf of your people, no matter whether you're a doctor or an engineer or a military general or whatever. If your country is in your heart, you come up. And that's why I'm here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Matur G. We appreciate your presence being with us this evening. Is really very meaningful for us to host you, and also it's not the first time to be with us. So just we'll let everybody know that we will end up here the show. Before we have to before we go, I will play this song, and I will let you give your final remarks to the Republic of South Sudan and all our followers in different countries, because it's not the only South Sudanese who are following this media. We have even our friends from different Western world. They are here and they are listening. You will give them your final remark after the song of our brother JJ Kang that says we are free at last. Though we are not free at last, we still take it that way.
Today we are free. Oh yes, we are free at last. Freedom has come today. We had a dream, burning like a fire. Yeah, dream has come true today. We are believers, believing in this trouble, yeah, you must come through today. Rise up, your banner is waving freely in the air. Rise up, your flag is waving freely in the air. Let me see. We are free at last. 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 Waiting for the day, a day of jubilation. Freedom has come today. Salute the martyrs. Salute the warriors. Freedom has come today. Rise up, the banner is waving freely in the air. Rise up, your flag is waving freely in the air. Oh, let me hear you sing. We are free at last. We are free at last. We are free at last. We are free at We were marginalized, but never surrendered. We choose to be free. We are free at last. They try to colonize us, to do away with our culture, and we say no, no. We are free at last. Across the sea, in the promised land, let's celebrate our victory. We are free at last. We are in the promised land. We are made our history. Let's celebrate. We are free at last. 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 We are free at last.
Thank you so much, Kang JJ, one of the hero and one of the great artists of Republic of South Sudan. That song has really matched with the celebration of the July 9, 2011, not July 9, 2021, but we still review that thing. To finish up with our guest speaker, to finalize his remarks, we got few questions coming up, but some of them they were answered already. Maybe you just came late. My brother, anyway, yes, Justin Mansour Azaki is asking, let Dr. Come home and engage support. Is requesting because he saw your vision and your thing is asking you why just join us, come in. Paul Wett also said that sorry to ask you again, Dr. Matur, what your say in flood of Jonglei State. In your remarks of conclusion, you just drop that word also. Our mother also said, true, we are free because we own South Sudan as our country, even though we are the ones who are messing it. Nice song. Thank you so much, our mother, Liz Longar. That's a great remarks. So,
Isaac,
yes.
I need Doctor to answer for Paul Wet this question before he go to conclusion. Yeah, and so on.
Yeah, Achaluela, I did say that
Yeah,
in his
yeah.
remark of conclusion,
Make it
he has to
separate because
answer
that
it
is
and then
Yeah,
conclude.
yeah. I will
concern.
answer.
Yeah, the citizen concern. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. So I will, before I conclude, I will answer the two questions,
Yeah,
and then I will come to the concluding remarks.
that's right.
Regarding the floods in Jonglei earlier this year and last year, look, I spoke about this last time at length. That people should be standing with our people, the government and the people of South Sudan should support our suffering people in Jonglei because there were flooding and the people were displaced and there were a lot of suffering there. I spoke about this a lot, and because what I said that time, I think I better repeat it, that the people of Jonglei are being neglected. They are fighting the floods with their bare hands, without any support from their own government. They're just being supported by NGOs from here and there, which is not right. As long as we have a country and a government that should look after the people, whether in Jonglei or anywhere. When they are hit by any natural disaster or anything, the government should intervene. Our people in Jonglei were neglected. They suffered a lot of displacement, and I even urge our people to contribute whatever they have. So, and I mentioned at that time, look, for me as a leader of a political movement, I cannot come and organize that because we will be looked at politicizing the suffering of our people. That's why I gave options to the churches, the community leaders, and even use the social media then, so that you could help our people. We cannot look all the time for the NGOs to come, while we ourselves we can help. The little thing we can contribute, whether it's $5, $10, it will make a difference. I suggested that time, some people they acted upon it, and most of the people they didn't act, and that's not right. And that's something needs to change. As people of this great nation called South Sudan, we must look after each other. We must be supportive to each other. When the disaster hits, we must come together and support that particular area or that particular community. We must support each other. This is very important. And this is a message that should be coming from our leadership in Juba, that the people, my people, come together, support yourself, and I will be supporting you as a leader. So I spoke at length then about the crisis in Jonglei, and this is one of the failures of the leadership, and I mentioned it then. So our hearts and thoughts with the people, I think there are still people displaced up to now, and they still need help. We offer help when possible, wherever we are, is acceptable. Don't look after certain people that belong to that state, that belong to that state. That's not right. We are one people, we are South Sudanese, and we should look after each other across our regions, across our states, because we are one people. So that's what I said then, and the same, we urge the government, please support our people in Jonglei. You cannot neglect your people like what you're doing in other states. It's not right. We've been talking about this. That's about that one. For me, someone asking me, do you come home? Look, My message is reaching home. And I will come home because you cannot make change from outside. Where the change happens, you must be there. So it's a matter of time. We've got people working there, and it's a matter of time. We will be there. It's just a matter of time. So don't worry about that. It will happen. My closing remarks are like this. My message is a message of hope. We know our people are suffering. Inside our country, people are not getting their salaries. People are not being put. Children are not being put to schools. No health care, and you name it. We know our people are suffering a lot. Our people are still in the refugee camps. They're suffering. All over in East Africa, in Uganda, Kenya, Ethiopia, in Egypt, in Khartoum, and elsewhere. Our people are being looked down as if they are people that don't have the country. But we do have our country. What we are lacking is the leadership that will bring our people together. That's what we are lacking in our country. But we do have our country with the land that can not only feed us, but feed the whole Africa if it put to use. We know the suffering is there, but let's hope. Our people during the struggle stood up for injustice and oppression. And that's why we wage wars along the history. Our people cannot accept any intimidation or oppression. They will stand up. They did that and we succeeded. That's why we have our own country. Today we have another challenge. The failure of our leadership in our country, and this is another challenge of our generation. And we have to address it. Address it by coming up, organizing ourselves, and bring about change. A change that will be representative of all the country, belongs to everybody, where everybody will feel at home, there will be peace and security, development and prosperity for our country. These were the reasons for the liberation. These were the reasons, that's why we broke away from Northern Sudan. But we cannot come again and fall under another oppression from our own brothers and sisters. Click. Who do with the greed, they've forgotten what they fought for, and they're looting the resources of the country, and they're neglecting to bring about the prosperity to our people. It is a challenge, and we are up to this challenge. We urge our people so that unite and work for a genuine change in our country. And once again, we will try. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Matur G. That's a good sorry, for the remarks that you have done to us. Just forgive me for the mistake.
Okay.
That's all right, yeah. Agar Deng Mabok, I will give you the chance. The floor is yours to say something before we are coming to conclusion. It's now closing time.
Thank you, Brother Isaac, and thanks to all the teams of Lagos State Media, and thanks also goes to our people back home, which are South Sudanese, wherever you are globally. I can say to you guys, Happy Independence Day, especially for those who are in Canada and USA. This is the day for them today. So Happy Independence Day for you guys. And back home to our people, we will have another topic will come up maybe Monday or Tuesday about the document that are running around the social media, because there are some people who say that the government is failure within South Sudan. We don't need to accept that, but why are all these are coming out? Because when we have document or any kind of documentation which is belong to the government, and that document is running around always publicly. It shows that maybe we can, and we can accept it one day that there are some failures within the government of South Sudan, because all these things should not be there according to the system of any kind of the government around the world or within the Africa even. So that thing will be, we will put it aside there, and there will be a debate about it, whether you are in the government or you are not. Please share, you share us about that topic, and it will be everybody, whether back home, abroad here, we will discuss that issue through Lagos State media here, and we need to highlight all these points that can put us forward and can delay us or withdraw us backward straight away. So I will thank you all, our viewers, wherever you are, and also you need to dig harder. Which party is going to be yours within South Sudan, whether it's the old party or the new one? You need to be prepared for it and do your own research and choose the right one, because we don't need to be mujahirin all the time. We need stabilities, and if we need stabilities, we need to find the right party that can organize and can put us forward as South Sudanese without something that called tribalism. Thank you, Isaac. I will stop there.
Thank you so much, Agar. I appreciate your remarks as well. There is the word that you have said here is the word that I can need to conclude with from the Afanan Betana of South Sudan. Also is where I will get my conclusion. Sudan Betana Mujahideen, and we have no ideas of what we can do. But now let's open our eyes. There are avenues, there are exits that we can escape all these things. So please welcome my brother and is a Fanan Kabir Gordon Kong to Lake State Media show.
Belena, Sudana, Belena, 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 Taban, Benjamin, Yarokuna. Jalajub Ayana, Belena, Mamurta, Sudan, Mujaja, Mafira, Lena, Jalna Maidin, Bainana, Rabuna. Belena, 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 Taban, Benjamin, Yarokuna. Jalajub Ayana, Belena, Mamurta, Sudan, Mujaja, Mafira, Lena, Jalna Maidin, Bainana, Rabuna. Belena, 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 Taban, Benjamin, Yarokuna. Jalajub Ayana, Belena, Mamurta, Sudan, Mujaja, Mafira, Lena, Jalna Maidin, Bainana, Rabuna.
Gordon Kong, Wala Shukran Jazilan, Oguna Betak. The artists, sometimes they are like prophets. Their lyrics or the song they write is something that is existing or something that is going to happen. Thank you, Gordon Kong. And also to come back to the conclusion, I would like to say thank you, Dr. Matur G, leader of NPM party, for the time you have taken and answering the question and your presentation, reflecting back of 10 years anniversary of Republic of South Sudan. What did we achieve? and what we didn't achieve. We have covered these things. We appreciate that. Gorma Kojok. Thank you, Dr. Matur and Lake State Media as well. I wish you all the best. Yeah, thank you so much, Gor. Yeah, thank you. And all our audience, I have to say thank you for being with us all this way long. This platform is for everybody. It's not for individuals or in particulars. Anyone can use it. You come up with your ideas that can shape our country to bring us together as one people, one nation. That is the motto, and it's one of our doctrine in Lagos State Media. That's why we welcome everybody on board. We don't discriminate or just to isolate. That's our motto. We are fighting for that to get it out. Wherever you are, whoever you are, please don't hesitate to contact Lagos State Media if you need any message that you need to pass to the public. Come here and will be for televised for you. Thank you, and thank you, Gordon Kong, for the last message. There is a good music that will go with us. Sudan lisa mujahaja yalna meidin bena nahar. We don't know what we are gonna do, so it is us. It is up to us who will look into it. How we can put that one. God bless you all, guys. Have a good night, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are tuning in. Thank you.